Hello everyone. Welcome back to Ultimate League here in Season 20 as we find ourselves then in the round number 8. So as we have a look into the standings, of course it is SharGT leading the way as his streak actually ended in both pole positions and race wins. Obviously he was doing a very impressive job this season, his best ever season. I don't think he can ever top that. And yeah, that in terms of results and statistics, I think it's going to be really hard to match what he's done so far in this season. As yeah, the last race he took only second place, being then defeated by the 2 times world champion Figueroa, who's obviously not really in a fight as he only has done 2 races till up until the previous race, and now he should be doing his third race actually, which could actually make things very interesting. But either way, SharGT finds himself 48 points ahead of Fernandi now in the second place, of course. But yeah, the main thing here is that GT could become the second driver in history of the sport to secure the title in round number 8. So yeah, there is also a very interesting part, but for that you would have to win 16 more points than Fernandi, because he needs to have a 64 points gap in order to secure the title, because then even if Nandi then managed to score maximum points in the last 2 rounds and JT would finish either last or DNF, that way Nandi would still, they would still be tied, but JT would have obviously would win on the tiebreaker. So yeah, then we see here obviously Fanti also in third place. He might still have a chance to catch Nandi for that second place. It's still 3 rounds to go, but yeah, last round though was really not a good one for him. And then we got obviously Parvid here in P4. Then we got also Matimar in P5 there, with now Ozzy still there in P6. But yeah, sadly he has retired. I think he was one of those sensations, and he definitely became that more towards this second half of the season. I think Kyalami was probably like his breakthrough performance, but yeah, sadly he basically retired after that. So yeah, then you got here also Johnny Fu was a very interesting driver in the previous race. Same with I don't think it was no F1 fan. So yeah, these 2 drivers here, Johnny Fu and F1 fan, definitely they have quite the performance there, being very close to Fatmi in the previous race. So yeah, that was quite interesting to watch. And then here in the team standings, things are just looking to be in favor of LSA. As and yeah, I mean, they just have a very consistent lineup. There's not really much one can do to beat them. But SCP definitely had a solid chance, but they definitely still rely way too much on GT. That's what been giving them a good chance of winning the constructors. But Johnny Fu though, he looks to be improving, and maybe that could make the difference, because even without GT winning, they still managed to gain some points on LSA. But the concern right now might be that it could be just a little bit too late. That yeah, and they got also one time they got essentially the team win in the previous race, with Figueroa being first and then Flix in P4, I think. So yeah, you see then Flo Force looking to finish in P4 there. We also have Ricard Alto there in P5 and RMC now losing a little bit, because yeah, they Journey only did 2 races, Carter only 3 races, so they've been very reliant on reserves. And then we got here a very close fight between Lynx Racing and FGR. And then we got there Mayhem Racing then in P9. So as you can see right here, we're going to be racing at the Bali Islands for the Indonesian Grand Prix. And yeah, essentially it kind of looks like a mix between Torbjorn Malaysia, which was racing in Season 10 and Season 18, as well as Park Motor Castiloli, which was raced in Season 14. It is a bit of a mixture between those 2 tracks, at least from what I'm seeing from the layout. And yeah, it seems like mediums and hards might probably be the way to go here, especially with the potential rain. Because yeah, this will be the last race of this season where we might have some rain, as it is one of the 5 races then, which will be done on 10% rain. Then the other 2 final races will be done with 0 rain, so it's going to be focusing on the skill and all of that. But here luck can definitely determine the driver's results a little bit. Obviously there's also always that game of probabilities and odds and all of that, but yeah, that this could be a very interesting race because of that. Because yeah, we see the likes of Figo here in today's race, at least I believe. Because if I go then to the UL starters so we then see here these starters list. There's one driver here missing. I think they're gonna have a second driver, but we don't know exactly who. But yeah, for one time we got Figo racing with Chloe, so one of the main drivers will be in this race. Although I think Figo actually did sign the main seat, so yeah, to come wrong here, then SCP, they're gonna be keeping their main drivers, same with LSA as well as Flow Force. Then we got here for FCR, we got Lexus, which is a reserve driver. Serge was supposed to be driving for us, but in the end it's going to be Mason. So yeah, last minute he managed to come in, and yeah, so Serge is looking to race for RMC instead alongside Cover. Then for Ricard Alto we will see then Matimar racing with Tomatoes, the lineup from the previous season. Then for Mayhem Racing we're gonna have Skibidi, and then Toe Gamer will be driving for them today as an ER. And then of course Lynx Racing, once again we're gonna have Albono, but the second driver we don't know exactly. So that's it then for the driver lineup. So without any further ado, let's get ourselves into the qualifying session. Alright then, so we find ourselves here in qualifying, and so turns out that the second driver racing for Lynx Racing today is going to be Kubo, who was a Lynx Racing driver back in the previous season. And yeah, he was the main driver for a few races at the start, then he ended up leaving sadly. And yeah, that's kind of the issue though. We got some drivers like him, Buddha, Blank, I guess even Flix we could say, who ended up leaving, and yeah, that kind of screwed up the grid a little bit. Even like Krustanet as well, like a few big drivers who that made the grid a little bit stronger, but yeah, also remembering like Nomskar. But anyways, we are already about to end the first lap, and I think it's going to be JT here. Yes, there you go, JT then found himself at his usual territory. Matimari in second place, 200ths of a second ahead of Figo. Then it is Nutty there in P4, starting to do a little bit better in qualifying. Seems like he may have swapped bodies with Fantamy. Yeah, Fantamy was looking to take pole position in the previous race, but then Figueira managed to snatch that away from him on the final lap. But yeah, now the second one, this is a very crucial lap here. If the drivers do not perform, then they're going to be under huge pressure coming into the third lap. As we see, then JT does not improve. Hernandi now puts himself on pole. As we see then, Hernandi 200ths of a second ahead. Now things are starting to get heated, because look at the top four here. Just separated by 300ths of a second there. Ooh, not sure if that cut from GT was way too big. As we see here, yeah, Figo definitely very close to him. Yeah, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be very, very close. Figo is actually ahead. I'm not sure if GT is gonna be improving on this final lap here. And there we go, is gonna be taking pole position. And it is Figo once again. Nandi takes second, GT third. So, looking then at the starting grid, it's going to be Figueira starting on pole position, then followed by Hernandi with Chargity, then splitting the LSAs with Fatmi taking third. Then we see Johnny Fu starting in P5 with Kadar, then Matimar, who started in second place in his qualifying, ends up in P7, just ahead of the Flow Force drivers Parvid and the F1 fan. As then we see here, Gamer in P10. Then we got Tomatoes ahead of both Lynx Racing drivers, Albon and Kubo. Then we got Glow in P14, followed by FCR's Lexus and Mason. And then you got then Skibidi in P17, followed in by Sedge, then starting in last place here. So we got the full grid here today, 43 laps as well here for the Bali with 10% rank. So let's get ourselves then into the race. Right, so the drivers are ready. As we see, it's going to be a cloudy start here with Figueira then. It's going to be leading us away. He might be starting on the mediums, I think. They start taking a while for the lights to come in, but here we go then, finally. And it is go here in Indonesia. As we see, Nandi already trying to take the inside line there. Can he take the race lead though? As we see then Fatmi now taking third place. Looks like starting on inside is a much better line there. As we see now JT losing some positions here. We see, looks like Kuziman has left, but he was not really driving, so no big iffy there. So we got then Hnani leading us the way. Figo crucially in second place. Then we got Fatmi followed by Johnny Foot and JT here. JT down in P5 behind his teammate right now. But yeah, this is amazing actually for Johnny Fu. But he's gonna be playing now the team tactics here. Yeah, now we got here Figo. Then Hnani just trying to take the lead. Fatmi now, through goes Fatmi there. He takes the lead of the race. As then we see now it's a 1-2 for LSA. Figo era then battling JT there for third. Then we got also Carvid, which we're gonna be watch out. And then you got here Dogamer, Kubo, Johnny Fu now going side by side there. As we see then the top 4 already started to get away, although Carvid, yeah, is definitely still on that slipstream. Maybe even side by GT, it's that big of a ping there. But as we see then Hnani wants to take that lead of the race. Fatmi goes wide there. But as we see then, yeah, so far this race definitely started to get very interesting. This is what happens when we just add Figo into the grid. That's for sure. I think Figo being here really does influence things quite a lot. Yeah, then we got here Kubo with an amazing start. He did gain a lot of places here from qualifying. Yeah, then Johnny Fu right behind. We start to see the grid spreading out a little bit. As we see then Dogamer batting Matimar there. As we got F1 Fan, then we got Kader. Then we got Serge here, starting in last place. He's already up into P12. He's battling Glow right now. And then you go send the Frenchman then around the outside. Then you got Scooby and Tomatoes with Mason and Albono. Looked a little laggy there. Then you got Lexos then in last place there. As we see then back at the front, Figo looking for a way past. And look at that, an amazing exit there as he goes around the outside there. And oh my god, that's some nice side-by-side racing. Figo still leaves the space. Fenty might try to join in here. We see, oh now Figo goes to the inside. Through the sand there, he's gonna be losing then 3 positions. Down into P4, Corvid starting to, or trying to join the party, trying to find a way past, but he goes very wide there into the hairpin. He was probably punted on his screen. And then you got here Fatmi. Then Kubo joining in the party. This is allowing for drivers like Corvid, Kubo and Johnny Fu to stay in this lead group. This is amazing to see. This might be the J. Carter race of this season, that is for sure. Because you got here, look at that man, they're just going free wide. Look at this JT now, trying to lead this race for the first time here. As we got him right now up the inside, Fatmi around the outside. He's going to be keeping the lead. Johnny Fu up to third place. Then look at this, just looking like NASCAR. Look at this, man. We got like 11 drivers on the lead group right now. Kyler, Dogamer, Matimar, F1 Fandel all joined right at the front. This is obviously amazing to see. But as we see now, the group definitely splitting here. Look at Fantmi. Fantmi now will be pitting. He wants to avoid getting undercut. It's going to be now sunny weather. So right now this looked to be a risk, but as you can see now, it's going to be ended up right at the back. So that was how close the grid has been so far in this race. As you got then Figo now leading his way, Hnani second, and it's JT. Maybe JT and Hnani will be pitting on his laps. Johnny Fu looking confident there on those mediums. So yeah, might be definitely the time for the championship leader to go into the pits. Hnani will do the same there. So yeah, now things are starting to change. That is for sure. I think the pack will be breaking simply because of the strategy. So yeah, Hnani goes for the hard tire, same as Fantmi. So Fantmi is essentially your net leader right now. But he definitely needs to negotiate with this traffic. Now he's going to be trying to get past that FJR. Now he got the Mayhem Racing. They let them pass very easily there, which is amazing also. Just trying to stay on that slipstream. That's basically their targets here. Sedge, ooh. Yeah. So yeah, we see then, yeah, Sedge definitely is gonna have to leave. He's getting very, very laggy. Then we got Tomatoes. They're in P5. And yeah, ooh, Corvid as well. But let's see. Corvid is not as much. Edge is just a no-brainer there. Corvid might be a little bit different, and yeah, now he looks fine for instance. That's why some of these calls are just hard to make. Because they might just lag for a little bit. But yeah, though we see here GT probably getting a little bit sweaty there, because he has Corvid right behind. And that can be very, very dangerous. But as we see now, ooh, Cloud's coming in here. This might benefit Figo if the rain would come in right now. But as we see, Fatmi just passing a lot of drivers and Figo really extending these tires. But look at Fatmi though. And then he's going to be in second place. Then it's JT. Then in third. With Corvid now just trying to stay with the British driver. As yeah, when is Figo pitting though? Because I feel like at this point he might just try to save a pit stop. Like he might as well just do that. Because yeah, he won the previous race with the 13-second gap, and that was obviously quite the amazing race there. And maybe that's why he might be doing this, as he might feel confident in the pace and he wants to do something completely different from the others. Use that tire offset to a different level here, as he goes for the mediums again. So yeah, that's interesting. But yes, so he's going to be using the mediums. He's in P6 right now. JT is, for instance, not that far away. But yeah, obviously this is not like the AI races here, where smaller gaps are actually look a lot bigger when it comes to online races. But yeah, so we see here then Kader. They're doing a very solid race so far. But yeah, now we can see the pack just breaking. The likes of Kubo and F1 Fan now just starting to lose out here. And what's interesting though is that we got Glow and Don Gamer on fresh tires. And they could be trying to catch the likes of Kuban and F1 Fan. But the drivers at the front though, they look to be better than the rest. So yeah, as we see then Figo just trying to get up the inside out of Corvid. As he makes the move there. Nicely done, so he's already right behind JT. So this is very, very crucial for his race. And he's going to easily get past the British driver. He's not going to fight all that hard, but now he definitely needs to take that safe stream. This is what could bring him back at the front. As we see Hanani having some amazing pace here. But yeah, Figo will definitely be ruining their plans. Because Figo will 100% catch them. So yeah, as we see, Hanani definitely showing some amazing pace right now. Figo just losing, Fatmi just losing a lot of time. Oh my god, it was actually more than a second in the previous lap, but now Hanani makes a mistake there. Figo will be catching him. And Hanani's gotta be praying that once Figo catches him, that JT will not be on that slipstream. And I think that's what's going to happen. JT has lost it. So things are just not looking great once again for JT here. Could be yet another race without winning. So as you see then Figo then comes in on the inside. With Hanani then in third. But yeah, JT is close, but just not close enough to be on that slipstream. This is actually great for Hanani now. It should have an easier time now to catch Fatmi as long as he stays on that slipstream. So for Hanani this is like catching the train basically. And his next stop will be Fatmi. So I think his race lead will not be lasting all that long. And this is the main thing now. Figo is really looking amazing with the pace. That is for sure. Like if he didn't lost all that much time by staying for that long on those medium tires. So yeah, it's because his pace is just something else here. Maybe this is what JT needed. So a driver like Figo to just push him for a better pace. But yeah, Corvid, he did have some times, but then on his screen it just looks to be fine. But yeah, I'll have to see that. We're gonna have to see about that. Ooh. Yeah, that kind of looks concerning. Yeah, let's see. We got then Johnny Fu now looking for a move. I think he clearly has better tires. Matimar also wants to do the same there. But he knows he needs to think better of it. Now Fatmi then goes into the pits for the second time. And he goes for the hard tires again. So yeah, this is interesting then. Figueroa is just clearly leading right now. Hernandi just trying to stay ahead of JT, who makes a mistake there. He looks a little bit inconsistent, but this track actually seems to be a little bit tricky. Especially that first sector. As we see then, yeah, Figo just leading the way. And he should be able to extend that gap now, as yeah, now Fernandi then dives into the pits. And let's see now, Fantme. What's gonna be the gap? Fernandi is right here, then Fantme is gonna be close. But yeah, Dugard will not have his teammate slipstream, or maybe he will, because Fantme made a huge mistake there. That could be a bit of a disaster, but Fernandi does the same. A bit of a disaster there for the LSAs. I mean, they are both in the same voice chat, so probably Fatty made a mistake. Probably complained about it, and then Fernandi did the same thing, I think. That's what I'm picturing things here. So yeah, so we got then Figo pitting just a lap later. And I'd say that's definitely not a... That's really smart, I'd say. Because yeah, I think he's also on that same VC. And that might actually help him, because he may have seen that the LSAs made a mistake, so they would not be able to undercut him. And so yeah, that's what you can do sometimes. Even if you could just go longer on this stint. If you know that you're going to pit and come out in first, then you pit immediately at that point. Like, there's no need to just be following the better pace strategy, quote unquote. Especially if you're the fastest driver, which seems to be the case here with Figo. So right now things are just looking very, very promising for him. As we then see Hernandi, Corvid, now GT though. Oh my god, GT just ended up in the middle of the chaos. Gonna have to try and pass Tomatoes. Oh my god, this is really costing him time. He might not even finish on the podium today. That's the main thing here. And yes, we see, look at Corvid though. It's actually interesting. Ooh. A lot of teleportation there. I really hate to be the one making these calls. I think we should have like a you remember watching the race or something like that, and that person could either DM me, or if I would be in the VC, they could like just tell me to make their driver leave or something. But yeah, we then see here Johnny Fu up the inside of JT then. Johnny Fu actually has better tires. So yeah, GT definitely lost a lot of time there with that traffic. But yeah, GT definitely knows that he's faster. So he goes then up to P5, that's the thing, it's only a P5. Corby seems to be saving a pit stop. So he's in contention, probably not for the podium, because the cars ahead of him have better tires. And now what we have here is a battle for second between the LSAs, because yeah, Figo just looks to be getting away with the race win once again. Which would be second in a row. And yeah, he was... Before GT got this amazing win streak, Figo was the record holder. Which he had 6 wins in a row. GT, I think, ended up being 8? Yeah, it was like 3 race wins. No, actually 9. Yeah, that's 9. Because it was 3 race wins from the previous season, plus 6 from this season. And so yeah, so Hernandi then up to second place. Figo then is gonna have to slipstream him. He has slightly worse tires. And right now I'd say it's probably not the time to battle, because he could risk having Corvid right behind him. And you always want to avoid Corvid because of his ping and all of that. And And yeah, then you got here Johnny Fu, looking amazing here in the top 6. And yeah, that's the thing though, look at how close these drivers still are to the top drivers. So slowly but surely we're starting to see the great healing. As in the meantime, Psych Fettley got second place again. I don't know what happened there, but I did saw one little dot going off the track there on the minimap. Yeah, nearly just waiting here. As yeah, then we just see the grid just completely spread out. I think the closest drivers might be, yeah, Mason and Skibidi. Skibidi on very old tires there, so Mason might be able to actually beat him. But they're actually, for the constructors, not looking great for FCR today, that is for sure. But it's just a valuable experience here to be racing. As we see now some clouds coming in. No boy, that might be a little bit concerning from some drivers, especially the... Oh! Yeah, I got a DNF Corvette. It's better to tell him to DNF now, it was teleporting like crazy right now. And I think I just let him for too long, to stay for too long, so... So yeah, it looks fine, but then out of nowhere he types... He starts teleporting. So yeah, I told him once at least, so yeah. So yeah, so we see here that Fatmi still second place once again as the clouds now come back. And this will be obviously something could be big here. Because we see some drivers now on the old tires, for instance Fatmi. He might be very concerned with these clouds because he might not want to pit because of this. He's kind of just waiting to see the rain coming in, because if he pits right now... Ooh, there he goes, that's what I was talking about. If he just pitted on that last lap, he would be absolutely destroyed by the rain. But this will actually not influence much at the front, because they all know that they have to pit, because it's full rain. So for Figo, this works. For Fatmi, works as well, he just avoided a huge bullet there. And yeah, GT, maybe on the rain he might be faster than the LSA, so this could actually work out well for him. And yeah, one reason why this works very well for Figo is because on this little moment he might be extending that gap just a little bit further, because the distance to the pits for him was obviously a little bit shorter by just being in first place. So yeah, that's one thing to know. Sometimes when the conditions change, being in the lead is actually a big advantage. As we see then Corvid now leaving, as Tomato seems like he had crashed. So 2 DNFs right away. Ooh, Skibidi also DNFing, so yeah, another one. Jesus Christ, everyone's leaving, what the hell is happening? So we got 3 retirements in a span of like a few seconds basically. So yeah, so we got here still the LSAs now, once again battling for second, but yeah, now GT up to P4. But again, he still has to fight for this podium though. At least keep the podium streak, which I don't know exactly how long it has been. I know he had some races outside the podium in season 19. Like in St. Area. That's one that I can think of. But yeah, Sophie once again with the huge gap right now. Absolutely goated drive, and yeah, GT once again things just not going great, and as we see here, maybe just lacking some confidence. But yeah, in the meantime, look at Johnny Fu. He's extremely close there. Same with Kader and Kubo and Mati, like they're all very close to the front pack. What we see here is actually a big difference between like Albono, Mason, Lexus. That's where the big difference is basically. But yeah, as we see there now, F1 fan battling Matimar. And from what I'm seeing from the pits, from the number of pits that each driver has done, no one really lost with this rain. It's all just the same basically. Okay, so we've seen Albono then. Pit 12, he's the only one who went for the inters, the others went all for the wets. Which is a strategy that could work well if the rain comes in the last few laps. It's Sometimes picking the Inters could be a good choice, even if it is full rain, because the rain could end and the track would dry up with like, I don't know, 2 or 1 lap to go, and he could just stay out on those Inters. As we see Nadi just could not keep it on track there. He made a little mistake, but yeah, still JT having a huge trouble here, even to just try to get away from his teammate right now. Johnny for really doing a stellar job here. As we see now, yeah, they're gonna be struggling, and once again, Figo, his distance to the pitch was obviously smaller once again as yeah, we got these changing conditions, so this will be once again just increasing that gap to now second place. As we see then, yeah, Fantme will be picking the softs. And Andy here thinking in the long term right now to try and have the better tires for the end of the stint, and maybe JT is hoping that he can catch the LSAs if they battle too much. That could be a possibility. And yeah, or maybe he just feels more confident on those mediums, because yeah, it is then 8 laps to go then. So yeah, Fedme though could be helping his teammate. As we see then, yeah, Figo has the fastest lap. We got some clouds coming in again. Yeah, then we got here Kubo and F1 Fan. They go side by side. Kubo takes P7. And now he has Matimar. I think this could be a very interesting fight for Mati. And I think this could actually be a very good result for him. Considering the people that he's battling, I think he would be happy with P6 today. But yeah, right now, Kubo and F1 Fan not making things easy for him. With Kader also trying to catch him, but he needs to do it now. He's on the soft tires. Because I think at the front he'll just slipstream, or maybe not, because Fenty made a little mistake there. And again, look what's happening with Fenty. Oh my god, that was some huge mistakes that might give JT a little bit of a boost of confidence. Well, Fenty now needs to regain that focus. Because yeah, when you make those mistakes, it's we saw like he made 2 of them in a row. So you really just need to keep your head down and just not let these mistakes get into your head, basically. But yeah, now Hernandi could be on his way to take second place today. And yeah, the second half of the season, or like this mid-season, hasn't gone all that well for Hernandi. One race he went for a risky strategy which allowed for Fetmi to beat him, and again there he goes, Fetmi with another mistake now. The podium is at risk, and what happened there? Shitty got pushed. Maybe it felt like some little lag there. And it was kind of weird. But oh boy, so that gave another distance to Fetmi. Johnny Fu is now caught up to JT again because of all of this. But yeah, Fatmi really needs to avoid these mistakes. Because now the podium is at risk here. We see Hernandi slowing down. But yeah, now this is just giving JT a chance. Which will soon just be 3 laps to go. And yeah, all of this is allow for Figo to just increase that gap. Actually, let's see how much Hernandi lost by slowing down. Yeah, I can see. Oh my god, almost 30 seconds. So 3 seconds, let's say, that he lost slowing down. This might just give JT a chance. So we might see an LSA versus SCP battle. So this could be crucial for the constructors. So yeah, huge pressure moment for Hernandi. I think he's doing what I did to him in Park Motor Castelloli, where I slowed down for Hernandi. He had older hard tires, I had fresh softs. Bulle was trying to catch him, although he would be kind of tight, I would say. I think Hernandi could have tested him, maybe still hold on for that second place against Bulle, but still I decided to slow down for him, give him the slipstream, so that he could secure that second place. But as we see here, Hernandi is trying to do the same, but probably it was a much riskier situation here, because look at Fentme, he's just about to lose that slipstream there. JT is just getting very, very close. I think this final lap will be very, very intense, because JT just taking that slipstream. Look at him now, he's going to be fighting here as Figueira just looking to take that race win, but let's focus now on this battle for second place, which now seems to be very, very hot here. As we see then now Hernandi, second place, GT up to third place, Shonifu still in this pack. Look at him, this is gonna be his best ever race so far. As we see then GT now trying to take second place, Hernandi wants to shut the door. As now they are on the back straight, GT goes through the outside. Can he make the move there? I don't think he can. And now we see then Johnny Fu in P4. Could he take third place? As we see here, Nani second. You see GT, Johnny Fu, look at him! Is it the podium? Yes, it is! Johnny Fu on the podium! Figueira takes back-to-back wins. Hernandi will be taking second place. Johnny Fu is third. Oh my lord, what I just saw here. That was amazing. Oh, that was amazing stuff. I'd say probably the best race so far of the season, I think. Without any doubt. The previous one was actually amazing. Even if the race winner is just winning by a huge gap. But Jesus Christ, this one though just took it to the next level. So Figueira then with yet another amazing win, 13 seconds this time around, with then Hernani taking second, and then Johnny Fu, your latest podium sitter here, his first ever podium in his career, with then Chargity then losing his podium streak, with Fatmi then in P5 once again. Then we see Matimar taking P6 in the end. I think he's gonna be happy with that one. Then Kubo in P7, also considering that he's returning, it's also not a bad result. Then F1 Fan P8 followed by Kader, then Low closing the top 10. But then we see here Doug Gamer P11 followed by Alborno, then got Mason and then Lexus there in P14, and then we got 4 DNFs here, Corvid, Tomatoes, Greedy, and then Searched as well. So let's get ourselves into the interviews.
Okay.
Well, I guess we can start with you then, actually. Because yeah, you got P6, and I think you might be happy with this one. It was kind of like a best of the rest type of thing. Having to beat Kubo, F1 Fan, Kader, Glow, all of those drivers. So how do you feel?
Yeah, it was a really fun race for me. I finally didn't bottle my qualifying for the first time this season, for which I was extremely happy about because I qualified P7. The start was horrible for me. Kader ruined it. He just drove horrible with his hyping today. Sorry, but I need to say that. But fortunately, due to the top pack fighting, I managed to catch them, and then I slipstreamed the Onifu for like half of the race. But unfortunately, I lost him due to the server lag on like Stinct 3 in the rain. Then I made a horrible mistake because of which Kubo and Kader, I believe, caught to me. Then Kader pushed me off and I lost him and Kubo. Then F1 Fun caught me and I was slipstreaming F1 Fun. Fortunately, we managed to catch Kubo and Kader due to me and F1 Fun pitting one lap earlier when the rain ended than Kubo and Kader, which saved the race for us because we wouldn't have caught them otherwise, I believe. And then it was a really fun battle between me, Kubo, and F1 Fun. It was amazing. It also feels really good to finally beat Kubo in kind of a 1v1 battle. In a UL battle because I've never done it before because we only battled once in Canada and he won. So yeah, I feel like this could have been more. Unfortunately, it was a bit unlucky with the start and the server lag. Unfortunately, Tomatoes DNF'd due to his game crashing, which is really unfortunate. But I hope we'll get to drive together once again. Uh, Also, I hope that Bituko, when Bituko returns, he will be able to score some solid points and finish the season in the top 10 in the driver standings, securing his best season ever. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the last 2 rounds of the season, and I am pretty happy from this race. So yeah, that's all from me.
All right then. So you see, then I guess we can go with Kubo. It's kind of just going backwards a little, then we go towards the top. But yeah, you got a little return today with links as well, and yeah, you were surprisingly competitive considering how long you were like out. So yeah, what can you say?
Um, I'm just really happy. I didn't really even try that hard on the return. I just wanted to vibe a bit. I realized though it's June, might get a Pride livery in there. I was kind of keeping it semi secret. Um, but if you followed the last announcement where I didn't even say anything, this was pretty much the same. And I'm very happy to keep the top eight streak going on the return. I didn't expect to that well. It was also very nice. Other than the server lag, it was very nice, especially the fighting with Matty and F1 fan at the end. We were fighting extremely cleanly, so that was very nice to see. And yeah, I'm happy.
Alright then, so next, not sure if Admin wants an each review, you seemed a little bit pissed at the end.
Mm.
Wait,
I'm gonna swear at some modders.
wait, you want it review or not? I couldn't understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so a bit of a difficult race. It started pretty well. We were like leading, but then I guess certain things happened there. But yeah, what can you say?
That was a good quality. I mean, P4 got the inside. I mean, all I could have hoped for at the end of the first stint, I was first. Then, I mean, I did some mistakes, and those things happens. But yeah, afterwards, just second stint, we in the sleep train and fucking fat fuck Figo, bro, can't fucking race with other people. Just fucking fakes me to go in the pits and then shoves me off the track. I'm really pissed right now, honestly. Like, you say you retire, stay out of the fucking league, bitch. So, I mean, yeah, honestly, nothing really more to say. After Joe, I shoved him off at some point because I saw my trailer just went off and he ended up in a wall, which honestly, I don't really give a fuck about that. Like, he has killed me enough times, so that's deserved. And yeah, after that, just basically, I was angry. I left the VC and I did my race on my side. And then, yeah, I think everyone can eat shit here. And like, honestly, you don't honestly deserve to be here.
Oh damn, it's yeah, I was not expecting that. But
Have a good
yeah,
day, dude. Have a good day, dude.
okay, thanks. So yeah, we go then with Nandy's second place today. You made what I did to you, like in Park Motor, Castilawi, like with the whole slowing down thing. Did you saw that it was like risky? Did you felt like you could still keep the double podium for LSA, or
Oh,
what was
sure,
the deal
yeah.
there?
I mean, I had the same tires as Joe. It took me a few laps in the last stint to realize that Tommy actually took softs. So that's when I realized that on the A flap he will be absolutely grinded by the guys on mediums. So I just tried to slow down for him and help him out, but yeah, Joe was a bit faster than me. I'm really not proud of my final laps. We could have done a 2-3 there. Uh, that much is on me. And then on the final lap, I had to hold off both SCPs, which was crazy. Uh, and in the end, I somehow managed to get second, but yeah, it's still a bit sad for me. I I mean, it's a good result for me. Like I was in there for a while. I was on pole until the final lap, but uh, you can imagine that the vibes in the garage are not the best right now.
Yeah, I can sort of see. That's yeah, that last lap though, that was crazy. We're talking about the top two teams in the constructors there battling it out uh, for second place because yeah, it's
Oh, for
but yeah,
sure,
that's
man.
but yeah, that was quite a crazy race. But yeah, it took second, things went well, so yeah, that's what matters. So to end then, we're gonna end with the best here with Figo. We had another amazing race there as we saw. He went for a crazy strategy at the beginning with the mediums. We extending the hell out of them, but somehow he quickly managed to come back on the second stint, and from there he kind of just got away. And also he did the smart thing of not extending that second stint and immediately pit to be immediately at the front. So yeah, what can you say?
Um, yeah, so I mean, I went on the mediums. It's just my starting tire, and just you know, the issue was COVID in the race.
Oh, I'm not hearing you now. Wait, is it? Wait, the fuck is happening? Okay, now I don't know why I was suddenly kind of I just lost the sound for a
Yeah,
bit.
I mean, I guess I'll just give it again. Um, yeah, so yeah, I started on the medium. I always start on the mediums, just like the tire I go on. It's like the balance. You know, you can kind of extend it if you need to, but it's also quick enough to keep it the softs. And the kind of main issue that came up was COVID because he's like a big barrier on the track. And so I saw the other guys pit, like Hanandi and and they're on the softs, makes sense. And I see them come out like near COVID, and it's like, okay, that's kind of an issue because if I get stuck behind him, I'm screwed. So I extended it for as long as I could. Maybe the rain would come. It didn't. Um, but I felt like I had the pace to kind of extend it and still kind of keep close to the guys behind me, like not get undercut too much. Went on the mediums, had a relatively easy time dispatching. Like Kada and Corvid. They were kind of like the main threats because it's always hard to get past high pingers. And then obviously went to the front, and then yeah, the incident with Phantomy. I mean, on my screen it was literally just like my line is to go as wide as possible, right? And I like go all the way to the apex. And I mean, I've been doing that the whole practice races and everything. So like I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. And it's even on my TT Ghost, like I'm not hiding it. So yeah, and I just do it. And I guess he thought I was going to the pits, and he goes down my inside, and literally don't have any time to react. So yeah, it happens. I get why he's frustrated. I don't think that being this kind of angry or like throwing insults at people. I mean, of course, I'm guilty, but I feel like because I've done that before. But I still also think it's wrong. I wouldn't want to do it again if it had to me. If it happened to me. But yeah, I understand his frustration. I think I had like a got fucked and I think Mestavig or something. I mean, it wasn't obviously that like bad, but you can't just deal with it and move on. It happens. Yeah, and then the rest of the race, I think when the rain was coming in, like it was the clouds or something, and I was worried if I pit and the other guys stay out, because there was still like an 8-second gap. If they stayed out and it rained again, I would have to pit twice, and that would take my
That
advantage
would
out.
that would take out the gap.
Yeah. But I kind of just convinced myself like maybe like they would really struggle on like the wets on the dry track because it'd still be dry. So I risked it and ultimately went my way. And then I think my specialty is just on like slidey tires, wets or worn tires, and from there I just kind of had the pace and went on. But yeah, other than that, I have nothing to say. Just happy about the win. But yeah, um,
All right, so I just have one last question, which is, do you have like any plans to like the rest of this season as well as like for next season? Like, are you
um,
like staying
yeah.
until the end of this season? Are you gonna return next season like fully or?
I do regret like saying like making a big deal of it. Like, oh, I'm retiring. I just get bored. I can't lie. Like sometimes the game is boring. Sometimes it's interesting. I've got nothing else to do really during like my, kind of in my exam period, and in like kind of the free time that I have, I just kind of play this game. So yeah, I mean, if I'm interested, then I might race. But yeah, if I'm bored or I find the game boring, I won't race. That's all I can really say.
All right then. So yeah, I guess that concludes the interviews. As then for the next round, we're gonna be racing in Novo Plano in Brazil, which we should see then Chargity getting crowned the world champion for the second time. And that's it. So we'll see you there till the next time. Goodbye.